Welcome back. You're watching World Insight with me, Tian Wei. The program is coming to you Monday to Friday on CGTN. This week, we bring you a special series of interviews with female trailblazers from China, Women on Top. Today, let's meet Cindy Min, the founder and chief executive of online education company VIPKid. Cindy forged her own path from an early age. She left school at the age of 17 and with her uncle co-founded a language teaching company where she spearheaded business development. Later, she drew up VIPKid. She challenged the conventional English teaching method from its humbling beginning as a real-time tutoring firm aimed at China's tens of millions of 4 to 12 years old. VIPKid has become one of China's leading education startups. Let's listen to this young entrepreneur explain why she left school so early and how she succeeded as an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur in China. From a 17-year-old high school dropout to now one of the best and most well-known young entrepreneurs in China, many people wonder, what has this been, this magical transformation?
It's love of teaching, and I was an English learner myself, but at the same time I started teaching young children English, and then I felt myself fascinated with the experience that I want to spend time with them every day, that I chose to teach full-time. But also another reason is I didn't do quite well in middle school and high school in my math class.
That's very honest.
I was reading science fiction magazines in my math class, and from that moment on, I realized personalized learning is so important to every child that as an unsuccessful student, I probably should seek another way.
But did your parents agree?
Well, they didn't have a choice, because if I continued, I wouldn't be successful. And I think, to speak for the teachers, I think it's very hard for them to navigate around the classroom setting of 60 different students. It's really hard for them to try to help everyone.
So you joined your uncle?
Yes.
To establish another entrepreneurship. That's your earliest?
It's right.
What was it like for you to, at a young age, 17-year-old, trying to do business development, trying to spread the program onto different campuses? I mean, it must be quite an experience, I would assume.
It's actually a role of chief errand officer. You would see me in front of the school gates sending out flyers to parents at 7 a.m. in the morning, and then I'll be driving to different campuses to deliver lunch food for employees because they cannot afford to pay for their lunch boxes. And then I would be teaching in the evenings from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then I would be grading homework from 10 p.m. on, and I'll be reading my own books to learn from 12 a.m. on. So it's very exciting, I would say.
So that's 15 hours plus self-study.
I see that experience as a learning experience too.
But what was it like? I mean, when you were giving out the flyers at the campus gate to the parents, people would ask you, well, little girl, you should go to school yourself instead of standing here.
I actually look similar age to what I am today. When I was 17, almost 20 years ago.
So you didn't have the problem?
I didn't have a problem. Because as a young person, you always want to look more mature and established.
Exactly.
And then, but then honestly, because I was an English teacher, so parents actually trusted me. They asked me, oh, what is this program about? And then I told them my experience learning English, and they feel very convinced. And then I said, come and learn with me for 3 times. It's for free, and you get a little gift. And if you don't like it, you don't have to pay. So parents thought, there's nothing to lose. And then they let their children try. Everybody stayed.
So that's your earliest stage of entrepreneurship. What is the biggest challenge and what is the biggest takeaway from that experience for you?
I guess the biggest challenge is knowing nothing at all. But then the biggest takeaway is also knowing that one would never know everything about anything. That allows me to always think about the customer values, what the student really wants, and then learn while time goes in the different eras, and then teach myself and also learn with my team to adapt to the new era, new ages, and then meet the customer requirements of the new internet age, I would say.
Then you moved on to establish something of your own, which is the VIPKid. It must be very different because at the very beginning, it was you with your uncle. You know, he is this big guy, right? He has to be responsible for everything. But now it's something of your own. So what was it like at the very beginning of this entrepreneurship? Have you ever questioned about yourself? Is this going to be a successful model? Is this going to be long term? Am I going to be responsible from the very beginning till the end for the people that I have persuaded?
For the first year and a half, what I did only is to be questioned and question myself, because it's such a new model that I believed the customer value is shifting in the internet age. Student requirement is to find the best teacher. That requirement cannot be best met in a brick and mortar age. But now it comes to internet. How do I know a 5-year-old can stay in front of the computer for a few years and learn with the teacher? Can they establish that real connection? And would the teacher be happy with her job working with VIPKid? So that's a lot of questions being asked by other people, and I constantly ask myself. So I figured there's nothing more important than to deploy and demo and to do it. So I started experimenting with 4 students, and then that cohort gets to 200 year and a half. So with that real piloting, we get to understand that students, as young learners, love staying in front of computers and then talk to a teacher remotely, and they establish real connections. And teachers, on the other hand, in the US, love this working opportunity with VIPKid.
You have to constantly innovate the business model, because business model is very easy to copy. Of course, you've got a big database of teachers, of students, and word of mouth, but those could be copyable as well. So here's the thing. Are you always in a process of being pressured in a way to move forward? And how to do that on a daily basis?
What drives the team and me growing every day is the true feedback from our customers, understanding what they really need and want. And that gives us, I would say, a lot of work to do, because there are so many of them, right? But the thing is, we're busy, but we're not panicking. We're taking our time building the foundation of the business, which is to make sure that we meet with the needs of the parents. But we make mistakes, and then we acknowledge it, and we make improvements. So it's I would say, again, shared future, very different from all the other business, I guess.
But you've got a lot of demands coming from different sides. You also got complaints, you've got compliments. The thing is how to prioritize, always. So to you, what has been your experience as a Chinese entrepreneur?
For me, I always prioritize based on customer requirements, customer value. And so let me give an example.
Give me an example, yes.
When we started build the business for the first almost 2 years, we didn't really have a proper website, nor phone apps, nor anything that is fancy. But then we make sure every teacher we selected are the best. We selected from the K-12 teachers, the professional English teachers in the US, which is 10 times better than anyone who can just speak English. And then we make sure we have only 5% of the admission rate. And it's a lot of work on this side. But by building that supply side, guarantees quality of our product service, which is what parents value the most.
Cindy, you know very well now the China-US trade conflict, in a way, has been escalated over the past few weeks. I just wonder, how is that likely to impact your business? Have you ever thought about that?
I would say our teachers are from the heart of the U.S., mostly on the states like Texas, Utah, Florida. Those are places where teachers need teaching opportunity the most. they're making anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 US dollar a year. That is very, very, very little.
Yeah.
And they can be very hardworking, but as a teacher, where do you find a job in those days? There's no other industries or manufacturing businesses, and the only thing they get is retail. And now online retail takes away a lot of the opportunities. And teachers are desperate. They wanted some opportunity. They can work hard. They don't mind getting up 4 a.m. in the morning. They're so hardworking and amazing and the best that they deserve the best opportunities. So when VIPKid came to the teachers, it's life-changing. I was in Utah 4 weeks ago. We had a teacher journey conference. 250 of them gathered on their own expense to join this teacher conference. And one teacher drove all the way from Colorado, 10 hours drive, because she cannot afford a plane ticket. A few dozens came to me in tears and they hugged me and they said, VIPKid changed my life, saved my marriage, saved my kids. I think there's a lot of more important and beautiful things in people-to-people communications that are so critical to our next generations.
Right.
What about children in the US and children in China growing up loving each other and have this mutual understanding that we're in this world future together and we need to work together to build our future.
But as the trade conflict continues, obviously there's likely to be some bad feelings increasing from both sides.
We're definitely bringing the good ones to the U.S. We're creating teaching opportunities, the state legislation.
Are you concerned that your business, or your business model might be hampered as a result of escalation of trade tensions?
I think we can probably ease the tensions by the fact that we're providing teaching opportunities. Teachers are paying more tax to the states, and we file with IRS every year. So there are a lot of good things we're bringing about having the mutual understanding.
When nationalism is on the rise, when protectionism is on the rise, a lot of things could be different, and things could go sour as well. So what I'm asking is, as an entrepreneur, how are you prepared for some of the possibilities and scenarios?
Absolutely. I guess the key is, again, to win the heart and minds of our teachers, to make sure we're at their service, that we're encouraging their success.
Is this thing keeping you up at night? I mean, these days, that the things between China and the United States, would this conflict keep you up at night thinking about what's next?
It worries me more long-term than a short-term impact. I would say long-term, how can we make the world a better place, encouraging kids love each other, teachers love each other, right? But then short-term, I would say our teachers are they're the one with votes. So they are actually, I think, very powerful in the dialogue. And now we need to make sure that they're taken care of and their succeed is guaranteed in a way that our platform is built.
As a young entrepreneur, you're not only facing how to build the business, but also what about your own personal destiny vis-a-vis the fate of the company. So to you, as an entrepreneur, what are the things you value the most in the business that you're building? How do you see case studies like this popping up here and there around you?
Investors I get on board, I always talk to them and share with them extensively about that mission and vision and ask them, so do you care about education at all? If you think e-commerce in the past 20 years has changed the world, and now 10% on the world average is online, 15% in China, do you believe that education as a $6 trillion US business, both in schools and after school tutoring, can later on be online? And is there a big opportunity, bigger or as big in e-commerce?
But belief is one thing. When it comes to real cash and real money, it's another thing. So when it comes to the critical point of making the decisions, things might change.
When it comes to all these discussions, I always ask my investors, so do you believe me or not? If you believe me, here's the way.
You sign the contract.
No, I want to make sure that before they sign, they understand what they're getting into. It's much better than after they sign, you go back and ask them. So this is the real dream. The IPO is a dream. I promised you the IPO is not the dream now. It's another dream. So what I always share with my investors are, we don't have plans to go IPO very soon. We need to build this business. We want to help millions of kids, and we want to make sure that we invest in AI. We invest in building our teacher training. We invest in the best content. This takes time.
Things are changing very fast in China,
Dynamic.
particularly.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of mergers and acquisitions over the past few years, these fast companies. When they grow really like a gigantic monster, they also acquire smaller fast companies. So do you feel, in a way, vulnerable? To a certain extent, your fate and the fate of your business is not really in your hand, even though you have beautiful legal documents there.
Oh, it's all there. That's the most important thing, because that shows the dedication of my investor going a long way with me and my team. The same thing, when they get on board, I just ask them, so why are you at VIPKid? If you're here for money, not that fast.
So that will
but
work.
It will be
so you have full
really
confidence that will work.
Yeah. So they need to be all in. They need to give it all. They need to stay with us for a long time. But then the return can be really a lot of times instead of just a few times.
Right. Have you ever thought about 5 or 10 years from now, what are I going to be up to?
Yeah.
Still this business or something else?
This the same thing. I think this takes more than 5 to 10 years. This takes the next 20, 50 years. And I'll be really fortunate if I can be part of the future in the education that my team and I have envisioned. So I would think access and equity are the 2 keywords. What if we can build this global cloud-based classroom for all the children at all demographics for the globe? So 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. Some students can learn one-on-one, some learn one-on-4,
right.
Some can learn for free in our rural education program. I could totally see a shared education future where for the rural programs, teachers can totally teach for free.
Cindy Min, an educator who's thinking about creating education and jobs all over the world. That is all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more, try to find us World Insight CGTN into your search engine, or check out our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Sina Weibo. From Mi Tianwei and everyone on the World Insight team, thanks for watching, and tune in again next time for insights across China and around the world. Good night.